no doubt that Dungeons & Dragons has recently had a resurgence in pop culture due to multiple appearances in popular shows like Stranger Things, as well as getting its own feature-length film in March of 2023. So, with this rise of tabletop RPGs back into the nerd scene, you might be wanting to join in on that world of adventure with all of your friends. So today, we're going to be teaching you how to play some Dungeons & Dragons. That's right, I lied. I'm not teaching you how to play Dungeons & Dragons, I'm teaching you something that's just that little bit more cooler. You ever wanted to be a cowboy? Well then Deadlands is the game for you. You'll only need a few things. Other people, of course. You'll need the rule books for whatever game you're playing as well. In the case of Deadlands, you'll need 2 books, Savage Worlds and Deadlands itself, which are both available in both PDF and hardback. The nice thing about getting into tabletop RPGs in the modern day is you don't even need an in-person place to meet. Thanks to virtual tabletops, or VTTs, you can play with friends around the world. If you're going to be playing tabletop RPGs, you're going to need some dice. A lot of dice. Before you actually get into playing, there's a few things you're going to need to establish, mainly who's doing what. Once you get your band of friends together, you gotta decide who's going to be the game master and who are your players. The Game Master is a director of sorts, not really as involved in controlling a single character as much as they are controlling all of the non-player characters and managing the world and the rule system. Once you have your Game Master in place, or as we call it in Deadlands, a Marshal, and all of your players have their characters, you're ready to really start playing. There's a lot of rules to go over in games like this, so we're just going to go over the basics. First off, whenever a player does something that might be a challenge, they make a roll for it.
Can a roll survive to see the outlaws left any tracks behind?
Whenever players need to roll to do something, they roll their skill die and a wild die. The skill die is of course relative to the associated skill, but the wild die is always a 6-sided die, or D6. In Deadlands, anything above a 4 is considered a success, and every 4 past that is a bonus success called a raise.
Can I roll Notice to see if the sheriff left any clues?
In Deadlands, dice can ace. What this means is that if a die lands on its highest number, you re-roll it and add it to the total. Dice can keep acing as long as they land on their highest number. You've successfully followed the sheriff's trail all the way to the abandoned mines. As you delve deeper into the darkness, you realize you are not alone. You're ambushed by the reanimated bodies of long-dead miners. Draw initiative. Eventually in any tabletop RPG, combat's gonna break out. When that happens, you go through initiative, which determines when people take their turns. Deadlands uses a standard deck of playing cards to determine initiative, counting down from aces to 2s. If 2 players draw the same number for initiative, you have to determine who goes first based on the card's suit. You count down from spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. Combat continues until eventually one side can't fight anymore, or they reach some kind of an agreement. Characters can take a lot of different actions during combat, a full list of which can be found in the rulebook. So, now that you have all the basics down for tabletop RPGs, go out, find a game that's right for your group, and get to rolling some dice.